right, mate. Talk us through your rig.
Yeah,
Sounds
all
pretty
right.
good.
Well, this is pretty much it. There's my Cilia signature
So
guitar.
tell us a bit about this.
All right, so this one, just get this right. This one is the Swamp Ash body with the flame neck.
Look at that.
Pickups we spend a lot of time on. I keep messing around with because I can't help myself, but the main usable. Everyone does that pickup split thing, and I can't stand it.
Right.
It's noisy. It always sounds thin. It never really kind of gives me any satisfaction. It's always a sound that I hope I don't end up on by mistake. So we've gone for the. The funny thing. Sorry, I'll just rave on here, but we've been doing this for a while. This series parallel on the bridge pickup. So. They're just nice and stringy. So I love that because it just means that bridge pickup has an extra kind of 3 accessible.
Do you blend it with the middle much on that parallel mode?
Well, in this, like say for instance for Always and Ever, where's that? Go and get a bite.
Gorgeous.
So I think it just really, it turns it into a really usable sound. I use it for the beginning of World Is Mine. It's here somewhere. So I'm still figuring out where everything is on this rig. Versus, it's a bit thick, but So that's pretty much the guitar.
Did you have any references that you spoke to Charles about with the pickups? Like, do you have favourite vintage guitars? And
traditionally, I've always had stacks.
Yep.
In the neck and middle position, and like a 4 or a 5 in the bridge. Then ages, 20, 30 years ago, I went to a path, and that kind of changed a lot of how things sort of, it just became more open. Now I'm going back to that kind of somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. So I find I'm running amps a bit harder, but really so I've got my other board, my regular pedal board, I've got a Demeter mid-boost, mid-boost circuit in a pedal.
Right, so the Tyler.
To the Tyler.
Yep.
So the funny thing, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I just recently bought a Dan Huff.
Oh, I did, yeah,
Tyler,
perfect.
because I've just, I'm a sucker for those kinds of guitars.
It's the right thing to do. Everyone should have that guitar, right?
I agree,
yep.
100%. And the thing that really, it killed me in the end, because for years, back in the 80s and the early 90s, we would, analyse those guys. I mean, I wanted to be Mike Landau and Dan Huff and Luke and those guys when I was growing up. And I always wondered what those switches were for, and I always thought, they're coil tap switches. And then I thought, but who uses those sounds? I've never heard those sounds sound any good.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute I saw some of those videos with the Tyler and the I just went, oh my God. And we were halfway there. We were already there doing it with the bridge pickup series parallel. But then all of a sudden that just opened up a whole new world. So I'm thinking of being a bit cheeky and maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But it's a great thing to have access to. I don't know how much of it I'd use live, only because I'm already tap dancing and singing and stuff. But for the most part, I'm really loving the sound of these guitars. This is, like I said, it's got the Swamp Ash body. Originally, I wanted a really light older, and that's getting harder to procure.
So you've got one with a non-locking
Yes, I
setup
do.
as well.
I have a vintage sort of version as well.
And I mean, just so everyone at home knows, this is also your signature guitar as well. Yeah.
So there's a vintage and a sort of modern, I guess, version. Obviously, with the Sons, I've gone back to the Floyd Rose. You know, when they're set up well, I just love them.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you like? Neck profile and everything else, nice and
That's a
there
pretty
you go.
fat sort of.
I like it.
I wouldn't say soft V, but not a hard V either. Like in the middle, it's a bit taken off the shoulder at the top side.
Yeah.
I don't have huge hands, but I do like just having something.
It's distinctly, because I've played the vintage one Charles has.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's very distinct from his other neck profiles.
100%.
Yeah.
That took us a little while.
Yeah.
Like that, there was but I mean, when I say a little while, like 3 visits out to his place, like nothing, it wasn't like, I mean, it was probably over 2 years, but it was probably only a few get-togethers to really...
I think he's pretty good at decoding what players like. He'll sort of watch you play and be like, I bet you like A, B, and C, and you're like, yeah.
You nailed that for sure. Like every time I go to him, he'd say, "Hey, I want to try," and you know, he's always up for trying something new, which I'm a fan of. So, you know, this guitar, the first tone is the front and middle, the rear bridge is just on its own tone, and the I was going to say coil tap, but the series parallel, that's my favourite.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say my favourite part of the guitar, but it's something that I use a lot. And for these, you know, fly dates, we've just got the Atomics. And
now, do you bring these?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
I bring them in.
You fly with a pair of Atomics.
Yeah,
I love it.
I can show you how we do it too. I've got a couple of 22-inch bass drum cases.
Ah, right.
And we got them foamed out. That's the only way you can do
Perfect.
it. Now, look, if I had my way, I wouldn't lug them around, but it means that you just bring your kind of, you know, your consistent guitar sound.
Amazing.
And basically, when Andrew and I first talked about this rig, the guys at Matt and everyone at Fractal have been just unbelievable for
this
me.
is awesome as well. Having,
yeah.
Do you use that for your visual feedback when you know if you want to know where you are on the rig?
100%. And so that makes it a bit easier, so I can, you know, I'm a bit of a dummy when it comes to this stuff, but I pretty much tried to replicate my sort of Mild Bradshaw rig. So we started with a like a template, set of 5 sounds, and then from that, those scenes are for each song.
And what was in your old Bradshaw rig?
There was there was a couple of SBX 90s, there was a couple of D1500s, there was an H3000, a PCM 70. The X88R, which was a big part of the first record and featured on the second record as well. There's a Jose Marshall in that rig, 9200 power amp, you know, a couple of quad boxes, and we sort of scaled that rig down to a rack, the head, and a load, and the Atomics, so I could keep that. Very cool. Thing away from, you know, upsetting.
Ripping everyone's faces off.
Yeah, so I get to have the full sound, but, you know, it's just coming back in my face. Also keeps my guitar out of the wedges.
Right, so you've just got vocals.
Yes, and
then guitar separate.
And reg and, you know, a bit of kick and snare and you know, the boys. So
Killer.
That makes it easy.
So with the board, you've still got the old MFC, which is, you know, does all the things.
When we put this rig together, which was, I don't know, 2019, you know, Andrew told me all these things that the rig could do, and I was like, I know, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of need to know that every time I step on, say, this button, it's a no, actually, not in this patch, of course. If I just go to my general kind of patch here, then that's sort of my clean. Well, it's more of a sort of swell. That's the general kind of gist. General kind of gist, and then the next sound is more like a sort of Fender, I guess. Sorry, bro, it's a bit loud. quite a bit louder than the other. So it's kind of small, like combo-y. I think it's a deluxe or a Princeton or something like that. And that's the same kind of thing again. But run a bit harder, I suppose. Just real good solid sounds that you can build and produce.
Yep.
So that's just got a bit of verb on it. There's an 808, I think it's a BB.
Beautiful.
So, and then you head into sort of more like Marshall territory. Just found a cab that worked, and I pretty much use the same cab over everything.
And it's the way to go, man.
So look, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I've just mucked about with things that a very small little palette, and then from that, you know, because that was pretty much what all my rigs were.
And it's what you see is what you get with the board, right?
Exactly.
Like you know exactly where you are, what you're doing.
And there's your delay, and there's a pitch. So there's a little pitch there. That chorus I think is more. Oh, it's not active. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
So on the clean, it's that tri-stereo.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, of course, I'm on the wrong bloody template there. Yeah. There we go. It comes back in. So really, just start with a couple of simple sort of sounds, and then build. And so again, I'm a stickler for things being in time, delays and stuff like that. You want it to be in the pocket. So every song kind of has its own scene. Even if I'm only using, say, a few sounds. Like always, never's only a couple of sounds, like a rhythm and a solo. There's always a couple of options.
And what are the other two expression pedals for? The middle one's for volume?
So this one's wah, this is volume, and that one is yet to be assigned.
Yeah,
but I was going to probably do a delay or mix delay with
awesome.
that. But again, it's just pretty much a button for each unit in the rack.
And there's that, is it a ping pong delay or a panning delay you're using on a few things? Because it's a lot of people talk about if I'm playing in stereo, what's the point? Because if you're on the left side of the room, but that particular delay you can hear. Yeah. It's incredible,
there. We've brought things in a bit, 10-2-9, 3-9, 10-2. But there's songs like. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Now that's been semi-centered up. That's usually gut, good, good. But in big rooms, sometimes it's like the opposite of that. You've got that, and you've got So try to bring him into the center so it's a little more friendly for gig-wise. And we still need to assign a tap. I haven't assigned a tap or a go, which is like a boost.
Yep.
Of course, we never got around to that. Matt did this sort of template for us, sent it. We loaded it up, and I just got going. But yeah, look, it's been super reliable and consistent. Just so consistent every night, and that is worth its weight in gold, I suppose.
Oh man, it just sounds thick out the front. Especially on I'm sure you would have been through it, especially playing Strat style guitars and things like that, where you can fight the 3-4K thing, or is that just like
look,
all
I tend
beef?
to wind my tone down a bit too, between kind of 6 and 10 on the bridge pickup and neck pickup. Neck and middle is around sort of 7 or 8, just to take a little piece of so that's wide open, which that's not too bad actually. Is that little squeak?
Yep.
I mean, it's funny, I listen to that and I go, it sounds a bit boxy, but in context, they seem to work. So that's been part of the sort of journey with this too. I do love these atomics. It's I mean, I can't. Brett Kingman, my dear mate Brett, helped me set up a bunch of stuff, and he goes, mate, I really encourage you to learn how to use the front panel, you know, without a computer.
Yep.
I wouldn't know how to get into, apart from hitting the edit button.
Terrifying. So,
yeah,
exactly.
It's too much to, you know, I'm used to running around the back of something and, you know, problem solving, you know, identifying by unplugging and plugging things out of loops. The thing is I actually had him in my studio for a while, like, and I put them, I wanted to hear how music sounded through them. They sounded terrible. It's like because I put like Tails or, you know, records that I really know, you know, and I was like, how can these things sound so good with my guitar, but not sound that great as a reference, you know, compared to say Jenny's or even NS10s, you know. But for guitars, I don't go out every week and find the next thing. I mean, I probably should. I used to with everything. You know, you'd hear about a new bit of gear and you were straight out for it. But now I'm more content with getting things kind of solid and working. But yeah, that's pretty much the rig.
Yeah. And then everyone's going to ask about the pod down here.
Oh, yeah.
Just sneaking in the back.
Okay, so that's just for my acoustic. And the acoustic, for those of you who are familiar with anything that the Sons do, you'll know that we use a lot of different tunings. And I just got so tired of taking 5 guitars everywhere, like all the time. It just was wearing me out. So I just started the hunt for a guitar that I could put all these different tunings in. And I ended up with the Line 6 Variax 700 series acoustic, and we've got all the tunings, programmed them all into the guitar. I just bought another one.
There you go.
As a spare.
Do they make them anymore?
No.
They're long out of production.
No.
What a shame. It sounds great out the front as well. It's like that perfect
it's amazing,
acoustic guitar sound.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, plug in acoustic sound like a hi-hat.
It's so weird. It does my sort of nut in, because it's, you know, the whole idea of modelling and stuff just, I don't know, there's a disconnect in me. However, I find the more that I just keep working with it, particularly with the acoustic, because, you know, they're different guitar models as well as
different tunings.
Yeah, so like you've got the jumbo with the open D, you've got the, well, I guess the jumbo is like a different jumbo to the country and western, like the J200, which has got the C tuning, and then there's the Ds with the jumbo. And I mean, it's just a weird kind of, you're hitting this button and the guitar's like, so the key with that is making sure your monitors are louder than your guitar. You can never hear the guitar acoustically, or else.
Yeah. And you have to sing.
Yeah, it's a
that's another thing on top of it.
Trying to make it easy, you know. Trying to take less pieces on the road. I think I'm down to 9. So, but which is, I mean, it's already, you need another person to just, but we were talking about it last night. It's like, how could I make this rig smaller? Okay, I could not take the atomics. All right, that's 7. Like, it's still...
Yeah, it's still, you may as well.
Yeah, it's...
Well, thank you, man. This has been a pleasure.
I love your channel too, and
thanks,
I love
bro.
what you do, so thanks for coming down and having a chat.
I learned from the best, so...
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully...
so there you go.
Awesome. Oh. This guy.